Alright, so I'm going to show you how I put together my fabric for my name tags. I used a 12-inch square hoop because I'm doing 7 name tags. I'm trying to fit as many as possible on here because I have a lot to get done. So I use a bigger hoop. You could use a smaller hoop depending on how many you have to do. If you only have a couple, or they're smaller, you can use whatever size hoop would fit. I use a thick woven fabric for the front. It's more heavy duty and it looks better with the name tag. That way I don't have to embroider the entire front of the badge or the name tag. And for the backing, I use just a lightweight cotton fabric, nothing super thick. It's actually kind of see-through because it's not very thin. It's just to cover up the stabilizer so that you don't have to see that through the fabric. And then the stabilizer I use either one of two. This is just a thin, heavyweight stabilizer that I usually double up before I put it in to the fabric, or you can use a thicker stabilizer. This one's a lot thicker than this. You can see the difference, like this one's paper thin and this one's super thick. So it just depends on how thick and sturdy you want your badges. Usually I use this one, but I am all out, so I'm going to be using the Ultra Firm Sew-In Firm Stabilizer. I just lay out my fabric, and it is very wrinkly, so I will put it through the heat press. If you don't have a heat press, you can use iron just to get the wrinkles out. You don't want any wrinkles or bowing and that would cause your fabric to bunch up and look bad behind the badge or on the front of the badge. So we put our cotton fabric down first. Make sure it's all flat, and then I use some basting spray, some adhesive. This is really just a temporary hold, but it holds it together. That way nothing separates until in the meantime. That's the right piece. That is too big. You could probably use something a little bit stronger because you're not going to be taking this apart, but this works great for me. And then our thick fabric on top. Okay, and I'm going to put this through the heat press just to kind of press everything together. Okay, so I'm going to put the fabric over my hoop, press down, and then I should be good to go. Okay, I'll press down and tight, and now we are good to go. Put it on our embroidery machine. Okay, so we're going to put the Velcro across the back of these, and then put it back on the machine, and the machine will do the next stitch all the way around to stitch them on. And for the Velcro, I didn't order anything fancy. I just went to the store because I was kind of in a time crunch for this order. So I got it's 5 foot by 2 inches. It's heavy duty, holds up to 10 pounds. I got the light duty, but it really doesn't stick very well to the uniform. So we wanted to go with the heavy duty because, you know, it's not a desk job. They're moving a lot, and you don't want somebody to end up knocking off their badge and you having to make a new one. I'm going to cut a 5-inch strip. And then I'm going to cut it in half. Get my mark. So then I should have 2 1-inch by 5-inch strips. The backing in this is sticky, so that helps us adhere to the name tag. And then I got all these cut, and now I can put them on the back of the name tags. Just peel off the adhesive, and they stick very nice. So before I start cutting, I put on this free check, and I put it all around all the edges of all the threading before I cut anything. So we got each of our little name tags. They already look pretty good. Now we just want to trim off all this excess around the edges so that all you see is our threading. So, and you can just use a pair of scissors to do that. You can try to use the rotary tool, or I like to use little sewing scissors that have the curve on them so that you don't pop an edge. And you are going to leave just a hair because you don't want to cut that top stitching like that. So that's what it should look like when it's all done. And you want to cut it close enough that you don't see the white of the stabilizer. See, I cut a thread so it popped out, but it's just one. Otherwise I did very well getting around the edges, and I'll just use the lighter to burn that off, and then I will burn around the edges just to kind of clean everything up, and then put the Loctite back on, and it's all finished. So I already have my Velcro all sewed on the back. Plus it's got its heavy duty adhesive, and then I am all finished. After I finish cutting, I'll take a lighter and smooth down any loose threads or edges, and then I take the thread lock and I put it around all the edges just to give that a little bit extra protection, and I am all finished. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you create an awesome project, and I would love to hear back from you guys, so please leave a comment, like us, subscribe, and we'll be putting out some more videos for you. Thank you.